It's just different.
Welcome back to B.A.R Fitness Podcast. Super excited. My name is Dwayne, the host of B.A.R Fitness, and this is my podcast and YouTube channel that I created to document my fitness journey. On that fitness journey, I am part of an amazing program called E2M, and in that amazing program, there are amazing people that you get to meet in that program. And this couple, I told them before we went live, when I started interviewing E2M clients, they were one of the first ones that came to mind. Really inspire a lot of people and impress, their presence is known in the group, and have on none other than Haley and my big brother Joseph. What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Hey y'all, how are you, brother?
Hey, I'm great. So I'm not gonna waste no time. People are already saying, hey, Eddie's in the comments saying, hey
Eddie.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna waste no time. I want to hear you guys your story. Haley, you do an amazing job of writing it out, but I'm not a reader, so I much rather hear it. So I'm gonna let you start first and just talk about your fitness journey up to E2M, and then Jay, you jump in and just kind of give your background right after her.
All right. So I joined E2M July of 2020, so it was coming right after the end of the pandemic, like COVID weight, COVID lifestyle just was terrible. So one of my girlfriends posted about E2M, and I was like, why not? Like, what is it going to hurt? Like, sure, I'll give it a shot. So I joined in that summer by myself, the only one in my house doing it. So I was clean eating, exercising. I was doing this program. My whole entire family was not on board at the time. They were eating what I was eating because I cooked. So they were doing it, but not doing it. My first round, I lost like 26 pounds, and I was so excited because I was like, oh, well, this is a doable thing. I'm not changing anything drastically. I'm just eating healthy and not eating crappy food and drinking all day long. Because let's be honest, like during the shutdown, like that's all I was doing is eating junk food and drinking during the day because I had to keep up with a 3-year-old who was driving me crazy. But nonetheless, joined, lost a lot of weight, met a lot of great people, and then just continued from there. So I did it for about 6 months, and then our 5th year our anniversary was January 9th, and that was the beginning of the new round, whatever round that was, number for me, I don't know. And I was like bugging him. I'm like, why don't you join? Like, why don't you join with me? Just do it. Like, it's not going to hurt anything. And so that morning he was like, okay, I'll do it. So we literally like got him in by like the last minute. He joined the group and has been so successful. And we've been doing it ever since.
Gotcha. So Haley, before we go to Jay, before the pandemic, before all of that, how was your lifestyle as far as health and fitness goes before you found out about E2M?
So I struggled. I was always a girl who struggled with her weight. I was the big girl in the group. I was the big personality, also the big girl. So I compensated for my unhealthy lifestyle with a great personality. And that wasn't really what I needed to do. So I did have a personal trainer at one point, lost a bunch of weight, stopped going to see him, and just put the weight back on. Got engaged, got married, got pregnant, did all that stuff. And I still was like probably a good size. Like I wasn't like terribly unhealthy. I was just always a curvier girl, and still in my journey with E2M, like I'm 2 years in, and a lot of my brothers and sisters who've done it as long as I have are thinner than me, but we're as healthy as each other, so I don't ever compare. Like my body is different, and that's fine. But because of this, like I'm now a healthy mom, I'm a healthy wife. So leading up to that, I had gained a ton of weight back. Sorry, rambling.
No worries. I got you. I do this. I know how to guide the ship. We're good. So Jay, man, talk about you before E2M, whatever the fitness journey was prior to.
For me, honestly, Dwayne, I had this mindset of like ex-athlete coming out of high school, I'm gonna live and I'm gonna play football and I'm gonna go pro. And then that dream dwindled quickly, You walk across that stage, and you don't have too many offers, and that idea of having to walk on and different things like that. And life kind of comes fast. So, there wasn't a lot of fitness. I don't know when that realization hit me that I was like gaining an excessive amount of weight. I've always had a fast metabolism. And I think for a lot of times it was just like partying, drinking, fast food. I work outdoors. So I was like, work outdoors, the physical job. It's cool. It's going to help me burn all this weight. That was a lie. So you start putting on the pounds, man. And, my fitness journey is before E2M was just kind of, I might go for a run. I probably won't, went to the gym. I won't say religiously. I went to the gym with my buddy, my best friend growing up. We did that 2-3 times a week, but like anything else, if you allow things to creep in and next thing you know, like, nah, we ain't going today. I'm not going today. And then that kind of fell off, had the gym membership, just didn't really make the effort to go out there. And after a while, you're like, you know what? I'm just paying $30-$40 a month to basically just throw money around. And I'm not doing nothing with it, and it fell off, man. You get into a relationship, you get comfortable, and if that person is not doing a lot of the physical things either, it's like, it's okay. We're both okay,
Yeah, we're happy. I got it.
We're happy. We're content. That's
it. Yeah. I love it. So, Haley, tell me who was or what was the person or post that exposed you to E2M and got you interested?
So it was Kim DiMaggio. She got married, and it's on Kim Petros. She's been one of my best friends for 22 years. She just very vague, like, anyone interested in doing this program, let me know. And we live in Beaufort, and our entire like core group is in Charleston, like, for the most part. So I was like, I'd love to know more, but I'm not in Charleston. That sucks. And she's like, it's all online. So I was like, okay, tell me more, like, whatever.
Yeah.
So, it was such a vague, like, I joined on a Sunday, and that Monday I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, what am I supposed to do? I had no questions. I just jumped in head first, and I was like, I'll figure it out. Like, I can't have sugar in my coffee. That's fine. We'll make this work. Like, I don't know. And
gotcha.
I'm thankful for her because I saw her pictures. She's a baseball mom. So she would like post pictures at tournaments, and I just saw she was looking so good. And I'm like, what is she doing? And so it piqued my interest when she made the post, and I'm so glad she did, because had she not, I wouldn't have known. And I'd joined 2 years ago. There were 6,000 people in this group when I joined. So the fact that she brought me into this family, and now it's leaps and bounds, like so many people. And I mean, we're still, happily in this program, and it works. It really does. I mean, of course, like, nobody's perfect, and life comes at you sometimes really fast. But the beauty of this is it doesn't matter. Like, if you have an off day or a bad day, you have so many other people who are like, hey, how are you today? Like, did you do this? Or I'm going to get on this, I'm going to do extra credit, or I'm going to do this ride, or, you want to go for a run, and people kind of motivate you and inspire you even on your bad days. So by a simple post.
For sure. And there's a couple of OGs watching. I see Crystal Elders on saying, hey, my peoples. I want to remind them how important it is to post on your personal page, because somebody had to do that for us to find, the program. And that's super important, because that post may change someone's life like hers changed your life. So Jay, man, what was the defining moment for you to actually like, okay, let me try this thing out? What was the light bulb or the click, or was it just let's do something?
No, it's a little bit of both, man, if we're being honest.
Okay, please.
So for me, we were sitting there and eating dinner, and I realized that she was making 2 different meals. She was like making our comfort foods and creature foods for me in Brooklyn, Carly and Dez. And then she was making her E2M meals, which I didn't think nothing of it. I was just like, okay, she's on a diet, whatever. On a diet. Okay, she's working out for a bit. That's different. I've never seen her work out before. But okay, do what you do, and then sure, making more meals. It's like you said, she was been there for like 6 months before I actually joined. And I think the catalyst for me was when one day she wanted to get some cardio in and just wanted to sweat. And she's like, I'm gonna go cut the grass. I'm like, you never cut the grass.
It was my first time ever in my entire life.
Entire relationship life. Like, you're gonna go cut the grass with some extra cardio? What? You know,
what is this?
What is this? Who are you? You know? So she asked me how to start the lawnmower, and I showed her. I'm like, no. So she was out there cutting the grass, man, you know, weed eating, doing all the things. And then I realized at that moment that she was truly committed to, you know, getting healthy and putting in the work, not just, you know, in the diet, which, you know, diets are like anything else. When they come, they go, they got juice cleanse, they got water diets, they got you know, different kind of things, fads. And seeing her actually put the path forward and kind of putting in the work and, you know, doing the physical stuff and the mental stuff and in the foods. And I was like, you know what? All right. I mean, let's see what it is. And then when you look down at your stuff and you look at your gut and you're like, man, that joke is getting kind of big, you know? I mean,
right.
It was like that light bulb moment. You see her working hard. You see her, you know, losing a few inches, losing a few pounds, and you realize that you're not getting no younger. You're only getting bigger. I was like, you know what? I'll give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Because I always thought to myself, I can work out one day. I can go off and tighten this up one day. Well, that one day was finally like, enough's enough, because you keep kicking this can down the road. You're never going to make it happen. So,
right.
You know, it helps that she was already in it.
Just
I
different.
think if I was coming into that's why I think it's important for couples to go at it. You know, if you got one person that's joined, you got to have both of you on the same board, because I know how hard it was for her to make multiple meals. You know, you're making baked macaroni and cheese and, you know, baked spaghetti and, you know, it's got 5 cheeses added to it. And she's got, you know, ground turkey with some taco seasoning and some lettuce, you know. Of course you want to eat with that spaghetti and that macaroni and cheese, but you can see the commitment. I'm like, you know what? The only thing I'm doing is adding pounds. And, you know, every year we have this health assessment thing, man, through the job. And I got my results back in 2020, the end of 2020, coming out of COVID, and realizing that I was unhealthy, you know, and especially being African-American, we got a higher propensity of heart disease, you know, high blood pressure, diabetes,
all that.
Yeah, all the stuff, you know. I mean, we eat good, and you know, that comfort food, that soul food is good, but it ain't necessarily good for you. Yeah. So, you know, that was an eye-opening experience. I think the tail end of that, it was like the end of her 6th month in the group, and then I had my health assessment. And I was like, okay, if you don't do it now, man, you know, she's cutting grass, she's doing the diets, and your health is trash. You got to do something. So that was a moment for me. And then we went on our anniversary trip, and you know, she had her treat meal. And I was like, okay, enough is enough. I got to do something, you know?
Nice. I love it, man. I love it. I love the progression, man. How you just kind of, you watched it and you observed it, and then you get that little shock factor. I love that. And that's going to be encouraging for, you know, some people that are in the program that is just the wife doing it right now, you know, because that's how it usually starts, you know. Actually, for me and my wife, it was different. I was wanting to do it. She didn't care because I was always doing something. And so she was like, oh, you're just doing another program, you know. I used to do like, you know, bodybuilder, print out the workouts and go to the gym. I used to always do something. And the thing for her is when she saw one of her classmates from Clemson in the program, she's like, oh, that's how she lost all this weight. So we were a little different, but that's super cool. All right, y'all. So 2 more questions before we get out of here. I always like to talk about week 1 shock factor. How did you feel? What did you go through that week 1 detox? Talk about your mindset. And Haley, I'll let you start, and Jay, you can go after her.
So like I said, I jumped in and I didn't know anything. I printed out the food list that morning. I was like, I have something to eat. I can eat something, you know. Woke up, did the black coffee, choked down the black coffee. Let's be honest, I was that girl, sugar, cream, you know, bells and whistles, like all the Starbucks drinks, like I wanted it all. And I was like, the first day wasn't so bad. Like I was like, oh, I can do this. I think I actually do remember exactly what I had for my first meal, because I made ground turkey taco in a lettuce wrap, because it was easy and it was something I knew I was going to eat. And I literally ate that for like an entire week. But Wednesday night was the night. It was like Wednesday after my first meal, the headache happened, and the the cold chills. And I remember feeling so sick and getting in an Epsom salt bath. I remember like someone in the group was like, go soak in Epsom salt, like it'll make you feel better. And I did. And I still to this day, like I don't, knock on wood, don't ever feel that way coming week one. But sometimes like your body does a little jolt again, you know, when you just refuel it with how it needs to be. But after Wednesday night, I did the soak. Thursday, I felt really groggy when I woke up, the cold chills, you know, I didn't detox as bad as I anticipated, but I think I went in with the feeling that it was going to be a lot worse than it really was. But that Saturday when I had my treat meal, once again, my first ever treat meal was a steak, baked potato, apple pie, and ice cream. And I remember exactly it. I even had a glass of red wine and I didn't finish it because I was like, I don't know if this is too much. Like, you know, I listened to the coaches. I know that I'm supposed to have this, but, and then on Sunday I woke up and I didn't feel so good because I did all that, but it was still a very manageable treat meal. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh, for sure.
Now with the program, they get a little bit different, but that was like, I was so nervous. I remember telling him like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to eat. I have to eat in this is my window that I can have my dinner. And so everything has to be on this table. Like I was very meticulous. And Sunday when I woke up, I was like, oh God, maybe the ice cream was probably not a good idea. Like that dairy, because you take it away for a week and you give it back. And it was just something different. But I always tell people, for me, it was 3 days. I had a terrible 3 days, but those 3 days are so worth the rest of it.
For sure.
You know, and the water helps. Like, God, just drink all the water, the bubbly water. That really got me through. Just like chugging it. Yeah. Like when I felt like sick, just chug it down, and you know, it was easier for me.
Nice. All right, Jay, what about you, man?
You know, for me, you know, I think the black coffee was a shock because I was like, hey, you know, I like my chocolate milk, basically. You know.
Yeah. You wanted coffee with your cream.
Oh, exactly. My coffee was light skinned like Brooklyn, you know, like Brooklyn, like color like that. So all my kids are all light skinned. So my coffee is just like them. But I realized like black coffee was bitter. It was a different taste, but I knew I was like, you know what? I can still have coffee. They're not taking coffee away. You just got to switch it up a little bit. I think the one thing that surprised me wasn't so much the diet. I mean, I heard about the cold chills and the food, eating clean. Gum definitely helped me get through a lot. I mean, I chewed gum like my style. I mean, I was popping pieces once that little sugar rush, which was really sugar that sweetened. Once it was gone, I was spitting it out and give me another one. You know, it was just something to kind of take my mind off of what my body was going through. But I think the real surprise for me, man, was like week one workouts. You know, going into it, I was like, you know, push-ups, get out of here. You kidding me? These little push-ups. I'm gonna go ahead and crank out about 50 of these little push-ups. I got down and humbled thyself quickly.
Yes, sir.
You got about 5 or 6, and those arms started shaking. They got real weak. And then that's when I realized that I needed to surrender myself to the program. You know, and like it made sense why the detox happened, why the cold chills happened, why they said drink a gallon of water, why they said to don't have this, you know, in your diet for week one. You know, they take the fruit or all the stuff, you know. I realized I got in my own way. At the time when I've been in there for 2 years, so I was 35, you know, but 34. And I couldn't do 10 push-ups.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then that's when I realized, okay, everything that you thought you could do, you thought you could manage, you cannot. So once I humbled myself and surrendered myself fully to the program and realized that something has been created and given to me, you know, next to nothing. The least I could do is follow it and see what happens. What's the worst that could happen?
I know.
I'm gonna feel bad for a week or a few days, and then all of a sudden I may lose a few pounds, you know? So week one for me was a real humbling experience. Realizing
he was a little angry too.
I was. I'll tell you that. I was probably a little angry, you know, because you take away all the sugar and you don't really realize how much sugar is in different things that you consume. You know, just because you're not pouring sugar in something, you know, you eat a Pop-Tart in the morning, you realize that, man, that's just nothing but sugar and some pastry, you know? You know, once you take all that stuff, it is. It is. You take all that
strawberry with the frosting, I get on the cheap.
Yeah, strawberry, blueberry, jam, man. I rotate between both of those. But, you know, you take all that stuff away, man, and you realize that, you know, you had a lot of sugar in there. So you had the cold chills, you had the irritability. Gum helped me a lot tremendously. and just kind of drinking my water. I think that was a big thing. I
Sure.
wasn't a big water drinker,
Yeah.
It's like a gallon. You want me to drink a gallon of water? And just find your method. Like carrying a gallon of water was not going to happen because it's a daunting task, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get something that, pint, 2 pints, a liter.
Mm-hmm.
Get one of those bottles. You know what I mean? You figure, okay, I got to have 4 of those, or I have 3 of these, or whatever the number ends up being to make your gallon. It's a lot easier mentally.
Yeah.
Number one. That's number 2 versus carrying on a gallon. I'm like, there ain't no way I'm gonna drink all this.
Right.
So that's how I approached week one and realized it was a different world I was stepping into.
Right. No, legit. That's spot on, man. I had kind of a similar experience, man. So, all right, family, before we slide out of here, I'll give you an opportunity to speak to that couple that is thinking about joining E2M. We're recording this on June 23rd. This episode probably won't come out till later, but if you're listening and you're thinking about joining E2M, what will be your message to them, Haley?
Do it. Join today. Especially for those moms like myself. I was so out of shape. I couldn't even keep up with Brooklyn when she was riding her training wheel bike. And just taking the chance on myself was worth it, because now I'm a mom who can get down and play with her and, run alongside of her, I use that loosely, alongside her when she's riding her bike, and it gives me like my life back. So, it's like self-care isn't selfish. And I had to learn that as a mom, especially when I did this journey by myself, because I did everything at nighttime and I was like, okay, here's your food. I got to go work out. I have to go do this. And I would leave my entire family to go work out. I would go to the garage or do whatever. But, putting myself first for once made me a better mom and a better wife, because now I'm a better human overall for them. Like, my health is important. So for anyone, couple, especially new mom, old mom, like, just take the chance on yourself. Like, you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. You can't pour from an empty cup. And that's what I think as moms, and dads, just, as parents, sometimes we do that. We put ourselves on the back burner. We always put our children first, or a spouse, or a job, or all the things before us. And then we finally have that aha moment, we need to really take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. So when this does air, I do hope that there's someone who can relate and take that chance and give yourself 8 weeks, 56 days. Like, you can do anything for 56 days. And if you don't have the results you want, or if you're not as happy as you think you should be, then try something that will. But I don't see how you couldn't be the better person after 56 days in this program.
Very true. All right, Jay, for that skeptical husband that the wife said, hey, watch this quick episode of this couple right here. What's your message to him?
I think it's realistically, Dwayne, it's just give it a go, man. I think a lot of times men's ego gets in our way. We see a lot of celebrities, a lot of fit people. We're like, I still got it. If I wanted to get in the gym, I could. If I wanted to throw these weights around, I could. But the reality is that you haven't done it yet. Yep. So what are you waiting on? If you don't do it today, what are you waiting on? So for me, I think the biggest message I would probably tell somebody, just give it a go, give it a try. The best thing is, as trivial as it may sound, is because the rat race of life, you go to work, you take care of work stuff, you do the family thing, you're doing all the dishes and the laundry and the yard work, and then going back to work. Life is repetitive, right? Mm-hmm. So when you carve time out to spend time with your loved one, especially with your spouse, mm-hmm. Believe it or not, a 30-minute HIIT exercise, you'd be surprised the conversation you may have mm-hmm. when you're trying to suck, especially early on, week 1, week 2, when you're sucking wind. But by the time you get your stride, by week 6, week 7, you're having some real conversation. That's a lot of one-on-one time. Mm-hmm. A lot of our family decisions are made in the garage gym, mm-hmm. Just from us talking and sweating and, hitting our reps. And then you're like, I just thought about this. We need to do this. And then, back from break, let's get back at it,
Right.
It's a good time to reconnect, a good time to really be able to spend some quality time with your spouse. And who doesn't want to spend quality time with your spouse? And you might as well be getting fit and being healthy. Because for me, I think after I did each win for a whole year and I had my whole health assessment again, and my numbers completely drastically changed. I went from you need to request follow-ups with your doctor to you're in the ideal range for everything. It was enough for me,
Sure.
I keep showing up. So, give it a go, give it a chance. I think realistically, you're going to spend some time, you're going to get to reconnect with your spouse. And who doesn't want to do that? And why not get healthy and fit while you're doing it?
Exactly. Listen, family, I appreciate you guys coming on the show. So grateful. Shout out to those watching live on Facebook, and shout out to those that are watching on YouTube and listening on the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Bar Fit podcast. I end every show the same way. Remember, 1 Timothy 4:8, Paul said, it's okay to take care of your physical body, but we also have to take care of the spiritual as well. Till next time, you guys, God bless, and we're out.